Good to see you, Big Keish.
My man, as always.
Yes,
as
sir.
Always,
yes,
knuckle
sir.
up, knuckle up.
So, man, 3 days here at Knox Pro Domain, man. You guys had the ladies' match on Friday night. You had Knox Experience on Saturday night. And, of course, SummerSlam. Everyone is talking about SummerSlam. What a SummerSlam it was. It's touted as being the biggest SummerSlam of all time. Now, first off, Big Keish, I want to ask you right off the gate, Seth Rollins, he fooled everybody. He worked everybody, including myself. Including myself. I felt bad for the guy.
We all fell for the okie doke.
Yes, but wasn't that awesome, though? I think in today's age, to be able to keep a secret like that.
Yeah.
And, of course, he comes out, he turns his back, and he drops his crutches. That's why he did it. He got that huge pop that was just awesome. First of all, your thoughts, Big Keish, on Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank and defeating CM Punk.
Well, first of all, I mean, big shout out to Seth Rollins.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you know, this is what makes wrestling exciting, is when you leave, you know, cliffhangers like that. You know, he tagged into the people's emotions. We were all sold out into it like, man, poor Seth Rollins. I think one podcast we did
talked about
was every bit about Seth Rollins.
Yes,
you know?
sir. Yes, sir.
And what I said then about Seth Rollins, I say it again here. This guy here, man, he's a superstar. He's a smart superstar. He's a very talented athlete out there. He deserves his flowers. But damn it, I didn't want to give you your flowers, Seth, if I knew you were going to just work us, because I really felt sorry for the guy.
Me too.
And normally I can see things come a mile away like that, but, you know, the way that, it was put together and the way that how he sold everything, man, it's like the storyline of it. You know, here he is about ready to, boom, take over, carry the next load out into and then this happens.
Yes.
Right? So you, as a wrestler, we all know for a shoot, right? Things happen, accidents happen. 30 seconds, it can be just as simple as a drop toe hold or something, or coming from the top rope, who we see people do all the time. But then there's an accident that happened, right? We can see the move, but we can't feel what's going on to their body. And so my point is, he's that damn good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then to come in to, and just, kind of rip it away from CM Punk, which, that I was happy when CM Punk finally got his flowers. So rightfully earned. You know what I mean? To be able to finally get that gold right there, that means a lot to him. It means a lot to his fans. It means a lot to all the followers. But then here you come. This couldn't have been a better time for Seth Rollins.
Right.
Come through. And you basically just gangstered that. He basically just came in and just robbed him.
Yes.
Just robbed him at will. And so it's exciting to be able to see what type of comeback that CM Punk's going to, do with Seth Rollins. I kind of see something going on.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So CM Punk was a champion with a grand total of 5 minutes and 9 seconds.
Is that the record?
No, there's actually been who's had a shorter few minutes than I think Drew McIntyre, the WrestleMania.
Well, it's unlike you not to know all the histories.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Drew McIntyre,
like a dictionary of wrestling.
Drew McIntyre had a shorter reign than CM Punk. I think he had him beat by a few minutes.
Oh, well, there you go. I learned something every day from you.
I had a question for you, Big Keish. So there were some reports that Seth Rollins he had to talk to his daughter about kayfabe, which I feel weird just bringing it up, but I have to ask. Was there ever a point in your career where you had to set aside one of your kids and talk to them about kayfabe?
No. It was none of their business. During our time years, that time, it was really, really kayfabe.
Right.
Right? And so, this is way before social media, Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff, It was never talked about. There was no need to be talked about in my household. I mean, it was like hush-hush, So never. But, I see probably why he did it now, because there's so much out there on social media that, at any given time, your kid, they have access now to phones and iPads and stuff like that. And there's so many that are on these gadgets and stuff that at any given time, a kid can just accidentally hit that and boom, you see your father, being bloodied and being run over by a car in wrestling, or
right.
you know what I mean, and,
Right.
that can really traumatize the kids.
Right.
So I get it at this time here, during this time of age, to be able to, to kind of just break it slow to your kids and kind of, let them know like, daddy's okay. You know what I mean? This is daddy's job, but I'm fine. Show them the boo-boo. The boo-boo's, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. And, he's really my friend and all that stuff. Because when they come in the back dressing room, the locker room, the wrestlers bring in their family and their kids.
Right.
And so, it's always that we, they walk up and say hello, hug. Hey, this is my daughter. This is my son. I want you guys meet each other. And so right there, it kind of opens their eye. Oh, maybe this is like entertainment, or, know. So at the end of the day, it's just kind of, you definitely don't want to traumatize your kids. And it's just the way of the world today on wrestling and social media, So social media is good. Yes, sir. But then, sometimes, most of the time, it's not. You know what I mean? I think it should be utilized, for a platform for your business or for a company or whatever the case it may be. But other than that, it is what it is. So I'm glad that they're kind of smarten up the kids. Not everybody has to do it though. You know what I mean? Right. But if that's what Seth Rollins, chose to do, then that's his prerogative. But for me, it was just a different time.
So a young Jay or a young Jimmy didn't ask, Pops, why did you run over Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Never. Never did.
Yes, sir.
What I mean? Never did.
So I want to talk to you about SummerSlam Night 1. Yeah. Now, of course, it opened up with God Mode, Roman Reigns, and your boy, the Yeet Man, Jey Uso, and they were victorious against Bronson Reed. And, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank right now on who his partner is. Oh my God.
Braun.
That Braun Breaker, that's right. Jesus, had a little brain fart right there.
Wise man.
Yes, I gotta say this. We got tribal cheeks, we got the tribal chief, and now we got the tribal thief. Bronson Reed, he's jacked Roman Reigns' shoes on like 2 Monday Night Raws in a row now. But before we get into that, what were your thoughts on the opening match? Do you think that because we that to open a big show like SummerSlam, sometimes you got to open strong.
Yeah.
So that's why. Do you think that was the right placement for that match?
But of course,
right?
You know what I mean? It was really just for me the right booking for the tribal chief.
Yeah.
To be able to come and open up a huge, night. It wasn't really like, for championship of any sort of belt. It was kind of revenge of blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so, you see the reaction of the people. Again, it's no matter how long the tribal chief is gone or decides to take off or whatever the case it may be, this guy can leave and decide to come back in 2 years and we'll still have the stadium rocking like that. And not only the stadium or the fans, but also the company itself, will always embrace open arms, with Joe on it's just on that personal level, the relationship he has for the company, the relationship that, our family continues to have with the WWE. It's nice to see that, that spot right there, that the respect level, that, knowing that this guy went out and given his all, and that's just like all the way down from Jade to Jimmy to Jacob. You follow me? I mean, every single one of them, Solakoa. And it's just nice to know that when they're if they put them in a position that they can count on them.
Yes, sir.
They can count on them whatever slot they put them in. That you know what I mean. So it was a good feel. I was happy to see my son Jay with Roman again, and it's just it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to seem like the wheel turns, right?
Yeah.
It started together and then it come back, boom, and who knows? Hopefully this is not the last time we see Roman,
Yes, sir. And he even took, he sacrificed himself in order to save Jay. He took the spear from Braun Breaker, which then enabled the Yeet Man to get the 1, 2, 3.
See, that speaks volume on on Roman.
Yes.
Like, he gets it. You know what I mean? Like, this is the biggest star in professional wrestling. This is the biggest star. But then it's bigger than him the way his mind thinks, right? I just feel like for somebody that did something like that, it's the love for your family.
Yes, sir.
It's he get it. You know, he understands what, you know, what Jay's position is, you know. Jay's still, you know, that guy to be able to, you know, he's young, he's still, you know, active to be able to keep moving. I feel the company can trust Jay now. You know, they can trust him to be able to, if he wanted to carry the ball again, that he can. And at the end of the day, it's like, you know, the numbers don't lie on stuff like that. Now, you know, them knowing Jay personally, and not as a wrestler, but just as Joshua Fatu, they understand what this kid here's mindset and how this kid, you know, operates, you know, business-wise, inside and out the square circle. It's like, you know, Jay is not a liability. You know, Jay is a company man where if we decide to gas him up again, that there'll be no problem. So, and the same thing with, you know, with Solakoa. We can see he's out there with his MFTs. You know, to be able to put a crew together and just have you be the lead guy, you know, it's not just given to you. There's so much. I mean, let's keep in mind, this was a kid that he was out in the independent circuit, but he did everything right in the independent circuit.
Right.
You know, he went out there, he worked, didn't look at the money, didn't get, you know, be so difficult with promoters, right? He went out there and build his brand, you know, and perfect his craft, because every crowd is not the same crowd in a different arena.
Right.
So meaning your moves that might work here might not work in Arizona. So you have to continue to find that and to be able to do a lot of these type of independent traveling, independent bookings and independent shows. You know, you've been there. It's different. You know, you have some shows that big highlights and big, you know, production, lights and big, you know, good crowd. But then you have those other crowds, it's in the barn. It's maybe about 45 people somewhere in, you know, in Arkansas someplace. But guess what? Those 45 people are happy to come see you. But you should be happy to be able that the promoter has given you a chance to come to his show to be able to to wrestle and to be able to perfect your craft. That's my mindset. Like, I'm not going to get rich on the independent circuit, but I do want to learn on the independent circuit. Because once you get to the WWE, this is the NFL of sports, wrestling sports, bar none. AEW can't touch it. TNA is now, they're smart, up underneath the umbrella of WWE. Triple I now come on. This is great, right? But you need to be well prepared when you get to the WWE, inside and out the squared circle. Because if you think you are trying to work your way up to the ladder by just trying to, being popular, all that stuff like that, and not learning to perfect your skills in the squared circle, because that's where your real power is at. Then, you know, I mean, you got another thing coming. You fly low. Fly low, listen to those that, you know, that you like to kind of mimic yourself off of, and just see how that guy became who he is. Because it's not just in the wrestling ring of what the fans see, right? How about what's behind the scenes?
Right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, go watch the new documentary that's out there. It's by WWE on Netflix. It's called Unreal.
We're going to get to that.
Go watch that documentary. If you're a true wrestling fan and you're a true student of the game, go watch that. Some of the biggest superstars in there are telling you their struggles, are telling you what's happening in there, are telling you, letting down the curtains of what they go through when the cameras go off, when the phones go off. That right there, if you didn't know that by this time here and trying to, surpass things like that in the business and not opening up your mind to, like, these wrestlers were real human beings. We've been through the struggle of trying to learn this business, and when you do have those that's in the business in your family, they say it's easier. No, it's not easier. What'll make it even more difficult is those that are coming up underneath you that don't listen and don't hear your words, and not follow the directions. It's not about, oh, we gonna put weight on. No. The family before my uncles, they work hard. They work hard to pave the way. And this is why you talk about the Samoan dynasty, the bloodline. We talk about what's happening, with the family that's coming through. It's so protective. This is not a game. This is our livelihood. And everybody that comes up underneath that, they have to understand that. There is no hate. There is no, what do I have to be jealous about? I mean, I'm a guy that's been there, done it. I'm just let our lessons, uncles and those that come before us, and those that are here that are passing it on, let our lessons be the knowledge for you. At the end of the day, it's just learning. And this is the reason why a lot of times that I stand on business, not only for my family, but in general for the students of the game. They wonder why is the dynasty, this legacy so powerful? So everything is the work, the closeness of the family, the leaning on, one to another, the listening, the respect level, the faith of where we come from, and also the teaching of the parents. Because if the parents go sideways, how can the kid follow? Let me repeat that again. If the parents go sideways, how can the kids follow? Look at my record. Speak for itself. Look at Afensika's record. Speak for itself. Look at Peter Maivia's record. Speak for itself. Has given us his grandson one of the biggest entertainment, the biggest box office draw, The Rock himself. So come on. At the end of the day, if the dynasty is that to the wrestling world, let's not be so quick to just try to separate everything. Let's look at the whole thing about why we are who we are. And hopefully, it's a lesson to everybody, the student. I always talk to different students of the game. I love when they come and ask me, how can I help do this? How can I learn this? Because my time has come. It's surpassed. But I'm still here breathing to be able to kick knowledge that I know, that I went through, that my whole family that are not here and surpassed, they went through. But they can't speak for themselves now. All we can do, we can learn. If you ever had that moment to be with them in a circle, in the living room of family, in a private time with them. If you had any time of that, you was blessed with that, I say listen and take that to heart.
Yes, sir. I wanted to talk more about Solo, but before we get to Solo, I want to rewind it right back to Seth Rollins' new group. He's called it The Vision. That's the name of the new group.
That's great.
The Vision. So Bronson Reed, man, he's been killing it lately. He's been also jacking your nephew's shoes. My question to you, Big Keish, is do you think this is going to open up Roman's potential Nike deal that he was supposed to have a while back? Because I've heard rumors and innuendo once again that he might get that deal again. How huge? He will be the first pro wrestler ever to be signed under a Nike deal.
Well, as far as I've seen in SummerSlam, I thought I seen Roman Jordan flying all over the place in the squared circle.
Yes, sir.
Why not?
Right?
You know what I mean? Hey, Bronson Reed, you bring those shoes to me, man. We can definitely advertise it here on our podcast here. Rikishi off the top. But yeah, man, why not? I think if it makes money, it makes sense. Why not? You know what I mean? It's not like Roman is just any person, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? To be able to get hopefully it's true.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That's like a big win for all the wrestlers.
Yes.
Because if he's the first wrestler to be able to ever get a Air Jordan deal with Nike, man, there's a whole other lineup of females that are out there.
Man.
Divas. I mean, that just opens up more. Why can't we do like, of course, it'll probably be all up underneath the umbrella of Roman's shoe there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I would assume they would kind of keep it there. And then, of course, Roman, he's cha-ching.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hopefully it works out good and it opens up the door for a lot of the wrestlers that are out there. We deserve all that.
Absolutely.
Because we are sports entertainment.
Absolutely. And he's got that cool factor too. He's got that swag about him that he could have a shoe line after him and people like me would line up to buy them because damn it, that would be dope.
Well, I'd like to get a family discount on that one. I'll tell Roman, let me just try it. You know what I mean? If it doesn't fit good, then maybe just give you my little input.
That's right.
A big shout out to Roman, man, for
yes,
always, holding the family down, leading the way, and to be able to, be a role model for all the new generations of the business, and to be able to be that guy for the company. Thank you for your service. Thank you for putting out WWE where it's at with amongst all your other friends that are there, all the roster. Big shout out to all of y'all, and continue to take care of yourself.
So the match I was most invested with at SummerSlam, of course, was your son Solakoa against the Samoan Werewolf Rikishi Fatu. Now, I couldn't help but think about you when I saw Solo coming down the ramp. How massive that video wall was behind him. How massive his name was behind him. You had to be a proud father. I know you're proud of all your boys. But how proud were you to see Solo walking on his own, the U.S. champ? He didn't come out with any MFTs. He came out by himself to that massive production behind him. And I just couldn't help but think of you in that moment. How proud were you of watching him come and make his way to the ring?
I'm proud, to be able to see him enjoy the moment. That's what he worked for. You know what I mean? I think back on the times that we traveled to these Comic-Cons, these little signings, and, the talks that we have on the road trips, the talks that we have while we're trying to, sit in there and, with the bookings and going through his matches, waiting in the locker room. He's really sponged up everything. And now, he's on his own out there. He's paving his own way, and to be able to, you can tell that WWE is giving him the ball.
Absolutely.
To be able to form his own crew. And, there's no doubt when Roman, decided to take a break, that he passed it on to Solo. And, there right there speaks volume. I mean, he could have passed it to Jimmy or Jay, but it was a smart way to continue to build this new character of Solo Sikoa. And, again, from the past pay-per-views I see him, this one, he just looks so relaxed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're working with your cousin. You know what I'm saying? And Jacob, we all know Jacob. Jacob's the easiest. Yeah, I can guarantee you Jacob was out there and just fired up. You know what I mean? Probably the hardest thing was trying to yell at Jacob to listen to what I'm trying to tell you, right? Or we're trying to call a spot or whatever. But, at the end of the day, it's good to see, Seth will walk out and just cool, calm, and collective and just relax, Tell me, you enjoy these moments, man. Enjoy looking around. Take a little time when you get there and just inhale everything. Inhale for a minute, exhale, and just look around. It's like, damn, I'm a part of this right here, And then the rest is just enjoy it. What happens there. You get out there, you feel it. You know what I mean? What you might have called in the back, it might not be that time. That maybe you guys just felt something else. So it's a feeling when you go out there any given night. But when you go out there on a big pay-per-view like that, and you're like a featured match, man, you got to feel that, man. The fans, they going to tell you what they like, and they going to tell you what they don't like. And so I thought those boys, I thank God that they both didn't get hurt. They both had, crazy spots in that cage match. Yeah. And, it's a proud day for, the Anoa'i Fatu family. So
what do you think of the actual match?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Again, for me, it's nice to see both of them work together. Psychology level of what they went through, telling the story. Because that's what we do. Anything theatrical movement and telling the story, that's right up the bloodline. You know, if you don't know how to tell a story and you coming from this family, you ain't ready. You know what I mean? We can we can make a broomstick look like a pro.
That's right.
But you only can do that by having psychology and understanding that. And so I felt that for me, it was a good match. I was satisfied with it. You know, and mainly, you know, they both walked in and they both walked out, you know, from a family perspective that, you know, neither of them were, you know, really hurt to be able to, you know, come out in the stretch. Because we know that, you know, anytime a match like that, accidents can happen.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Solo. Big shout out to the Wolf, man. Know that, you know, I'm a big fan on the sidelines, and I'm always going to stand on business for the dynasty.
Same here. So I ain't going to lie. I was kind of pulling for Jacob, of course, to win. But, of course, Solo walked out, U.S. champ still. It was amazing to see. No matter who won.
Jacob, listen, Jacob, in due time, you know what I mean? I think once they light him up, hey, there ain't no more. All Jacob, we gonna be looking up to Jacob.
Sky's the limit.
You know what I mean? Because you and I know exactly, like Jacob Fatu, the person.
Yeah.
What people know of Jacob is what they see out there, what Jacob wants them to see. Like even when you hanging out with Jake, I don't think that Jacob probably really like you. You know what I mean? Jacob is one of the best workers out there, you know? Don't even try to feel like just because you took a lot of pictures with him and you're hanging out with him and, you know, blah, 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 or you see him all the time. Don't get it twisted. You know, Jacob comes from Knox Pro. That's Knox knowledge, right? And there you go. So everybody that comes across Jacob already is 2 steps ahead of you. Trust me that. And a Newport. You dig?
And, of course, he had the big moment after the match was over doing the moonsault from the top of the cage, which gave me Jimmy Snooker vibes. Of course, when I was a little kid watching him come off the top rope on Don Morocco, I couldn't help but...
I was wondering how many knee pads he had on.
Yeah, right, because he hit that. He came down crashing hard. And Tonga Loa, Tonga Loa, he took all of that. He ate all that up. But like you said, thank God he walked out A-OK, and he lived to fight another day.
Well, that's, you know, those type of big matches like that, that's when you let it all out.
Yeah.
You let everything out. I mean, you try to empty the gas tank when it comes to stuff like that because it's those type of matches and those type of opportunities. You never know. You know what I mean? You never know how many times those will come by.
Yep.
And I've always said that if I ever got on top of the cage,
Which
you know
you
what I mean?
have.
I was going to take advantage. But I never knew at 450 pounds. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the hell I was thinking
Not
about.
once, but twice you did that.
I have no idea what I was thinking about. But hey, it paid off the kid's house.
Yes, sir. And here you are today.
There it is.
Big Quiche. A few more things about SummerSlam. I want to talk to you really quick about Jade Cargill. There's reports out there that WWE, they don't really consider her on the same level as Rhea Ripley no more.
Really?
Yes, sir. So I wanted to get your thoughts on her progress and where she's at right now in the game, because apparently maybe they feel like she's not where she needs to be. Now, we're fans of her, Jade Cargill. We talked about...
I'm a big-time fan.
Me too.
I'm big-time fans of both of them.
Me too.
You know?
Rhea Ripley especially. Hello.
Yeah.
How do you think she's doing so far in the big leagues, at the big time, which is WWE?
Well, it's no doubt to my mind that, you know, Jade has a big fan base. You know, I want to say before she even got to the WWE and got even bigger when she got to the WWE. And if, you know, I don't know what's happening in there, or why is this, you know, rumors or whatever the case may be said about her. But she definitely, she has star power. You know what I mean? There's always a way to work around if it's the athletic ability or the psychology, the working, whatever the case it may be in the ring. There's always a way to get around because you don't get specimens that look like that often.
Right.
You know, that's like a reborn of China. You know what I mean? The black version.
Yeah.
Right?
If
and
not
then you
better.
see her. But you see her, she looked like a goddess.
Yes.
She looked like you can stick her in the Marvel movie and that movie will be a hit.
Storm.
So what I'm saying is just, you know, if it was me, I'd be patient with her. You know, I'd just give her a little bit more extra repetitions, you know, in the ring and kind of, you know, really kind of, you know, tap into the weak spots, possibly stuff that she still having problems with or trying to find in the squared circle. Yeah, but, you know, you want to, like, that type of superstar power, the way this lady looks, man, I can't give up on her too quick. And hopefully the WWE don't give up on her too quick. Because that, I don't know if we'll ever find another Jade, you know?
Absolutely.
But you see, like, where, Rhea Ripley, I mean, same way, and it started in the beginning, until she found her groove. She wasn't just born overnight, you know what I mean? NXT, boom, and then did a few of that, and when the time was ready, I'm sure there was coaching there. She did repetition, and then she, once a wrestler finds their groove, meaning they're comfortable now in their skin, and they're comfortable in their, working, and they're comfortable, confident and comfortable to be able to lead in a match or take bumps, or psychology of it, right? They found that feeling. Because when you find that feeling right there, man, the rest is up to you. So, yeah, I don't think that maybe Jade didn't find it yet, but don't give up on her yet. Hey, Rhea Ripley, look at her. She found it, and she's one of the biggest superstars, female superstars in WWE today. So big shout out to both of them women.
Absolutely. Let's talk about,
Let's talk about my daughter-in-law.
Yes.
I was going to say, that SummerSlam match.
I was just going to get to that too. Yes, sir.
But that was one of, like, honestly, the following day, I really, I turned on, and there it was, because we had the matches here, the watch party here. So I decided to go home and, during that part there. And then, boom, I got home, and there she was. So I wanted to sit there and dissect that. You know how hard it is to have a three-man match,
three-way match.
It's
triple threat.
The three-way triple threat match is very difficult. And so how do we put this out to really make it a banger? Like, you know what I mean? You got two babyface and one heel. So what is it? So you come right down to the work ethic. Like, I was blowed up watching her, but she held it down. The psychology of the match between Io, Trinity, and Rhea Ripley was absolutely, you couldn't do it any better. Absolutely on point. Like, these three girls are the signs of professional wrestlers, right? They went out there in front of 70,000 people, and they did, the psychology of the match just made so much sense. A lot of big impact move during the right time when they needed it. And then, just how the finishes, the spots, the hope spots, the comeback. We thought it was going home. It wasn't going home. And it comes to Rhea and Io. I mean, it was just, it had us, like, it really had my mind boggling, trying to figure, they're going to go this way. But that just tells me how innovative and how creative that these three girls were, together to be able to, the mindset that we're going to go out there and steal the show. And that, I felt, honestly, man, I felt that was one of the best matches on the card.
Okay.
Day 2, I believe.
Yes, sir. Day 2. Yep.
And so that was, I was very proud. I actually text my daughter-in-law, and I hit up her father.
I was just going to get to that.
I was tear-eyed to be able to, to see her dad out there on a big stage, and, to be able to have him play for his daughter coming out. What a feeling that is, man. To be there, to embrace, to share that moment with your loved one in front of the world, and, and it just, it touched my heart seeing that, to see family out there doing it. And I text them both. I'm so happy and so proud to see you guys out there together. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.
So did you know her dad was a guitar player beforehand?
Oh, yeah. See, when we come to WrestleMania, now, we fly low. You know what I mean? Me and OG, we fly low, you know what I mean? We just, the kids just come by and stuff, and we just hang out in the back, and we fly low and stuff. But, yeah, I've been known that he plays the band. His band is, the Mac Band, it's a real good band. He's out there in Florida. And if you guys get a chance, man, link him up, follow his page there on Instagram. You'll see, Trinity and myself post up on his correct Instagram.
Okay.
But yeah, he does a lot of bookings. He plays that old school, like anything old school, man. You know, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh,
you know,
come on.
Kool in the Gang.
Oh, man.
I mean, we going back now. That's
Some
what I
Gap
come
Band?
like OG.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know, Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie Wilson. You dig? And so, yeah, man. So, yeah, that's my O's right there. It was so good to see him out there. But y'all make sure y'all follow him, you know, show him some love, you know, check out his, you know, his page and go on and just holler at the man. You know, you want a good band to come your way? Go on and let the O's take care.
There it is.
It's called the Mac Band.
Let's talk about probably one of the greatest matches I've ever personally seen. Cody Rhodes against John Cena.
Yes,
that was a masterpiece. You want to talk about emotions? You want to talk
Poetry,
about
emotion.
false finishes?
Come on.
Man, they threw everything at us
Come on.
but the kitchen sink.
Come on.
Big Keish, what are your thoughts on that match?
Come on. Just come on. Keep coming. I was fiending for it.
Right.
I wanted more. It was
Right.
so good. I wanted more, and I wanted more. I didn't want it to end. I didn't want it to end. You know what I mean? It was, man, you talk about poetry, emotion. You talk about emotions. You talk about theatrical.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, that movie could have went on, and that's a docuseries.
I felt like I was on a ride.
You dig? That's a docuseries. Yeah, we all was on the ride.
Yeah.
And so, man, big shout out to both of them. Big shout out to both of the Cody and John Cena, man. But damn, you know, to be able to, I didn't see Cody winning it. You know what I mean? I really didn't. You know, I felt like, you know, John Cena's heel turn, man, that was good for business. And I think he would just get started. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he made that this is going to be his last one. But again, sometimes when you know, you plan things and you got that fire going, you know what I mean? I mean, his heel turn just caught on fire, you know? And because I felt that people knew it was coming to the end, it was really kind of, you know, they really didn't want to boo us. They really didn't want to, like, that heel, like when he first turned heel.
Yeah.
The evil John Cena, you know what I mean? So it would have been, you know, I don't know. I just felt like I probably wouldn't have let it out, that he was going to be, you know, this would be his last one. But I guess that's what, you know, that's what the man, you know, planned to do. And but at the end of the day, you know, that's a legend right there. That's an icon, you know, future Hall of Famer. The man that did it all, held it down for 15 years. You know, and, you know, my biggest humble respect and thank you to John Cena. You know, thank you for being the leader. Thank you to showing those that when you step up in that position, how it's supposed to be carried, you know, with dignity, respect, and honor of the WWE brand and you as a person, as a professional wrestler. So, you know, I hope to see you soon, my man. And, you know, see you down the road. And for Cody Rhodes, hey, it is, my man. You got it again. It's all on your back. Let's go.
I couldn't help but feeling like John Cena passed the torch that night.
Absolutely. And what a way to pass the torch.
Yeah.
Big shout out to that. That shows character in this guy. You know, that showed that, you know, there's no ego chip on John Cena's shoulder.
Yeah.
Like John Cena just did business and passed it. You know, and let that be a lesson. Let that be a lesson to all those that when it comes your time, don't be difficult about it. You know what I mean? It took a lot of people for you to get there. So just remember those that on your way back up.
So before John Cena could really soak it in and celebrate, you know, his last SummerSlam appearance, it was the return of the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Did you see that coming?
Like, I mean, when you heard that song, I said, no way. No way. And this is what I'm saying. When the Beast came out,
Yeah.
all I was thinking, cha-ching,
Yeah.
cha-ching, cha-ching. Like we lose a hero, right? We sad about the hero, and then boom, take it right away. And now the investment and all lies on this, right? So, I mean, everyone knows what Brock Lesnar can do.
Yeah.
Everyone knows, you know, what type of draw Brock is. And so it's the way that they're going to book this because Brock done pretty much work with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, he looks great. I love the new look, you know, the cowboy with the ponytail and the different, you know, different colored hair color that he's got. You know, I like the rugged beard. He just looked like, I'm going to whoop your ass now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's always looked that.
Yeah.
But now let's just see what type of you know, storyline that they're gonna, you know, have this icon go down the road with.
So apparently he's going to wrap up John Cena's time in the WWE. So we all have that to look forward to. That's wrapping it up. My questions on SummerSlam. Big Keish, good to see you. Any final words?
That's it. Hey, always remember, man, it's free to be kind to one another, and always, always smarten up. We'll see you next time.